Coffee and pan dulce. How's that? Coffee and pan dulce.
Hey, I'm Christian Cano. You're the co-host. My buttons are Moms Demand Action, Gunsmiths Legislation, Healthcare for All, Medicare for All, and also in my heart, Black Lives Matter on behalf of Joe Oldham, who's a guest of ours who passed away last year. That's it.
Hello, this is Jenny James Gunn. I am a community advocate here in Charlotte, North Carolina for LGBT women's rights with the National Organization for Women, gun sense laws with Moms Demand Action, and anything that extends equity to all. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. It is January 15th, and this is the first new show of the 2025 season.
Wow.
And which is a huge accomplishment. I mean, I'm excited that we're still here in 2025. We've been doing this show for quite a while, and especially this main show, or this flagship show. I've been doing this. I've done it 7 of the 8 seasons that the show's existed. I only missed out on the 2018 season by a few months. Even when I was living here in Charlotte, I didn't know Christian very well, so I definitely didn't get invited onto the early shows. But I got invited on soon enough, and they haven't been able to get rid of me yet. And I'm sure every week Christian's trying to devise a new way to say, how can I not put up with this crazy Jenny? Like she's wearing me out, like the little sister I never wanted. But anyway, it is exciting to be back and to be doing the normalcy of recording shows on Wednesday morning. And one of our rituals is, and I'll go ahead and explain it for people that maybe are tuning in for the first time, is we record shows on Wednesdays, but we drop every Wednesdays. And you go, well, how is that possible? Well, we record a show a week in advance. So some things seem a little dated because we're talking about something that happened the week before. By the time you see it, there's already another week between us recording the episode and actually going on air. And so, full disclosure, there will be some times when something happens the day before the show drops that would really alter what we would say on the show, and it has happened. We've had to walk back more than one statement on the show. I won't even talk about COVID and the masking thing that one of our libertarian friends had us do, which is still probably the most cringiest episode, other than our gun episode, which also involved a libertarian, which told us, I don't know if we necessarily need to have libertarians on the show anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
But probably, in my opinion, our worst 2 episodes that I would love to erase out of the databanks are those 2 shows.
They're in the archive.
They're definitely in the archive. They definitely won't be my best of choices ever. And probably some of our worst moments in broadcasting history as far as our show's concerned. But for the most part, our shows are really good. They're a lot of fun. And they've evolved over time. And for y'all that listen to us every week, we thank y'all for hanging in there. And as we grow this, and we offer new shows.
Yeah.
So during this episode, you're probably going to hear commercials for other shows other than 2 Queers and Coffee. And we've come up with some new shows that have some new exciting hosts that are a little different than me so that I don't have to do 5 shows because I fooled around and had a midlife crisis and bought a business. So I'm not as available typically as I used to be, but I'll still do the 2 shows that, that I love doing, which is the current one that I'm broadcasting on right now, which is the Coffee and Dulce show. And obviously the spinoff show that's dubbed my show, which is called Two Queers in a Truck. But we have 3 more exciting types of shows coming up. And we have 2 exciting, hosts that have been guest hosts with us over the years. We're bringing back one old face, one young face, both of them super exciting Latino men that are movers and shakers in our community and mean a lot to Christian and I as friends. And we're excited to have them do their own shows and do their own thing and see how that evolves, just like Coffee and Queers has evolved over the years and has changed a whole lot. I'm excited to see what 2025 and 2026 will bring with all of our Cannis media shows and family. Anyway, take it from there, Christian. I wound you up pretty good. Very fun up your skirt this morning.
Very good introduction, Jenny.
Yes.
As Jenny said, welcome everyone. Good morning. This is our first show of the 8th season. Our first show, 2025 is here. 2024 is behind us.
Yes.
So 2025 is going to be great. Thank you, everyone. As Jenny said, this is Coffee and Dulce. We're on our 8th season. This is our 332nd show. Got a lot of shows in the bank. Jenny and I could take 5 years off and still have shows dropping. So we got a lot of shows in the bank. As Jenny said, welcome everyone. We want to thank everyone who's watching us on Facebook and YouTube, and the thousands who listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platform. As Jenny said, we're expanding the organization. We've got 3 more shows coming up. We'll talk about a little of those in the commercials. You'll see some of those promos dropped in there. But as well, please continue to watch ours and also our spinoff show, Jenny's show, Two Queers in a Truck. We're looking for an exciting 2025. Hey, I want to touch on something Jenny said. We do tape these shows a week in advance, but the good news is Trump is in office. Regardless, the same crazy stuff that happened is going to keep happening. So it's going to be timeless. Don't you think, Jen? I mean, it's going to be.
I think honestly, I don't think. For sure, we know that he's not gotten better with age. So we know his administration. The part 2 version is not going to be better than part 1.
Yeah.
Part 1 was a shit show.
Yeah. And part 2 is going to be what? Hold on a second, because we're going to talk about that, because that's the title of our show, actually. The title of this show is The MAGA Clown Show Begins. He has not been sworn in officially yet. Even when you watch this, he's got 5 more days until he gets sworn in. But the day after his election, from all his nominations, it's been crazy. He wants to take over the Panama Canal. He wants to buy Greenland. It's all right. So this is going to be really kind of crazy. All right. So welcome. All right. But before we do any of that, let's jump directly into Barb's current event.
And this is Barb's current events.
All right, here we go, Jen. I got 3 of them. I tried to make them a little bit more diverse this time. Tiffany Trump. Don't know if you know this or if you even follow any of this. Trump has nominated Tiffany Trump's father-in-law to be like ambassador of Middle Eastern affairs, or I don't know exactly what it is, because he's appointed all of his family members to give him jobs because they can't really get jobs normally. So they do need Trump to kind of get jobs. That's one of the great reasons about having your dad president. So, all right. So Tiffany Trump's father-in-law, it turns out he's not a billionaire like he claimed. And what had happened was the news articles were confusing his name with another Middle Eastern billionaire. And they reported that Tiffany Trump's dad was a billionaire, and he didn't disagree with it. He just kind of let all the rumors going. Well, it turns out he's really not. He's just like and I'm not to disparage who he is, but he's just a working guy, and he's very blue collar. Anyway, she's married to anyway, her husband's dad is not a father-in-law. Don't know what that means. It's just that no one should be surprised when things like that happen. The second one is, this is truly delicious. December the 6th, January 6th, you guys remember that crazy day in history. Well, here in the United States, this year, just a couple days ago when we taped this, actually yesterday or 2 days ago, they certified Trump's win. Well, on that same day, the Pope has appointed the new bishop of the Washington, D.C. area. He appointed on that same day, and he's the former bishop of San Diego, who's very anti-Trump. So I thought that would be very interesting. And the last one is, and we're going to talk about this as well, about the clown show. Elon Musk has been got in a lot of hot water. A lot has happened since we haven't been on the air. The H1B controversy with Elon Musk calling MAGA people retarded, or the R word, suggesting that they're not, so forth. So Bernie Sanders has come out and says, Elon Musk, you are wrong. He's actually agreeing with a lot of the MAGA base and saying, no, H-1B visas aren't the best way to go, because basically what they're doing is they're hiring cheaper labor, cheaper engineers if you're on an H-1B visa. So in a very interesting way, the MAGA base, the America First people, are very in line with, and Jenny and I have talked about this, with kind of the really progressive wing of the Democratic Party. So they're aligning together on this issue. So it'd be interesting to hear what you say. So Jenny, as usual, tell me what you think about these three current events.
Oh, a lot of common sense things, which again, I talked about on the show a lot. The Two Queer show that we recorded right before this one, about it really comes down to common sense, and nobody around Trump has any. So let's start there. That honestly, if you really want to boil Trump down into a nutshell of what's wrong with him, there's a whole lot of psychological things we could go down. But where his dysfunction really happens, and this is a universal theme with him, is he just really is that incompetent. He really is just a fucking moron, like Rex Tillerson said. Like of course, everybody he appoints is going to be controversial.
Sure.
And as far as Trump's concerned, his daughter's father-in-law not being as wealthy as he claimed, or not lining up to a press report or whatever, are we really shocked?
Exactly.
Are we, at this point, that's not even news. We're going, Trump's not a billionaire. He sure as shit ain't.
Yeah.
He married Tiffany. He married the dumber, less successful daughter. The like pork, the other white meat. It's Tiffany, the other Trump.
That's right.
She's the one that didn't even get any glamour jobs in the first administration that I know of. Other than there was one really awkward press conference that she was in with her dad, kind of going, "Daddy loves me too." It was kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie. It felt like a dating episode, on like Love Island or something. I was just waiting for those two to make out like he does with his other daughter. I mean, give me some tongue. Daddy wants some tongue.
Yeah.
Can't unsee that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, all three of the news articles, you can sum up. Trump's a moron. Every time that Trump comes up, you can just say, well, he's a moron.
Yeah.
We all know he's a moron. The people that vote for him know he's a moron.
Sure.
Elon Musk is a moron. Yeah. With just lots of money.
Yeah.
He was so smart, he took a $51 million social media company and turned it into a $17 billion social media company. He's a flipping genius.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to have the business backing he has.
Yeah.
But have a better success rate with that money. If somebody wants to invest $50 billion into me, I promise you I won't turn it into $17 billion.
Sure.
So, and I'll take 10% of that investment. I'll take $5 billion. I'll give you a discount rate. And I will take it and reinvestment into buying businesses. And I'll turn it into $50 billion. I'll be like Jesus, water and wine. And, and I just, we're going to see 4 years of this.
Yeah.
So with all those articles, we're going to see the cockamamie friends and family, deals come up, we're just going to scratch our head and go, yeah, another unqualified
Sure.
conservative getting a glamour position from Trump.
So,
He
hey,
did
what do
it
you
the
think?
first 4 years.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't really want to touch on the H-1B visa thing because we're going to talk about that in the MAGA Clown show because it's been crazy for the last few weeks. What do you think of the Pope appointing, or do you have any comments on appointing? He's transferring the Bishop of San Diego to the Washington D.C., which is the main, bishopy, whatever. And the bishop that he's transferring is a very pro-immigrant, anti-Trump individual. He's a very progressive individual. And so now the bishops of the major San Antonio, San Diego, LA, I think even Houston, DC, Miami, all of those major bishops are all very pro-immigrant, anti-Trump kind of bishops. I find that very interesting. I think he's going to have a problem with the Catholic Church. I don't know. Have you thought about that, or is that something that?
Well, I mean, first of all, the current Pope has to be a former drag queen because they were they always are jumping into the news. Have you noticed this with this Pope?
Yeah.
Is that so when a big thing comes up from the Council of the Bishops, he's always got a comment on it too. There's always like a real shady comment. Well, we currently like the gays, but we're not sure about the transgenders yet. There's always like a little caveat, like there's a little bit of a hug.
There's always a little sass.
There's always a lot of sass. There's no way they're straight.
Well,
I get to wear funny hats and
that's right.
I will lawn assist
pretty gowns. It's a great outfit. Exactly.
Big old queen, and the shady lady, the Pope, in his big old gown and his big old pointy hat, said, "How do I screw with Trump? Without overtly screwing with him." Oh, I'm going to put an anti-Trump bishop in the Washington, D.C.
Exactly.
What a brilliant move. And I can do that because I'm the fucking Pope.
That's right.
I got the little pointy hat and I got the little glass mobile, the little Pope mobile. Places so I don't get shot.
He does that wave. He does that pageant. The pageant
like a Pope in a jar, instead of an elf on the shelf, it's a Pope in a jar. He was like, "Well, hey, I'm in this giant goldfish bowl. I don't look stupid at all with this pointy hat and this big old wedding gown that I wear."
Oh my goodness!
I love the fact, that the Pope is skewering Trump because that's why it is. It's not accident. Like this Pope's pretty brilliant. I've listened to him speak, and he's very guarded with his words. He's very careful. To be progressive, but not come off too progressive. Is that a lot of Catholicism is based in social progress. And a lot of surprisingly, as conservative as the institution is in itself, it doesn't necessarily line up with modern conservatism, which is more like
evangelical.
It's more in the lines of actual hate and things like that. The Catholic Church is not always had the most loving practices, but has learned how to modernize a lot in the last couple of decades. You've seen them change because they realize they're dying, and without change, they're not going to exist in another 100 years. Christianity's not. It's a faith. There's less Christians in America as a percentage than there's ever been. Business is bad if you own
business is down.
Way down.
Business is down. Market
forces are shrinking the market because a lot of people go, I don't want to give 10% of my income to this business so that I can see the Reverend driving a brand new Mercedes and I'm still in a 10-year-old Kia. It doesn't set well with me. And I would have personally, especially the big old TV preacher down in Houston, old Joel Osteen, doesn't lift a finger to help anybody out.
I don't get that. That is. I know we could do another. We actually should probably do a show about that. That blows my mind. The Kenneth Copelands, the all these TV evangelicals.
They've never done anything.
I mean, that blow. I really would like to live a day, and I hope these people. Well, I don't know. So I hope these people are leaving us. But who would donate? There are people who donate money to them, and it's just anyway.
Bluntly.
Well, there are people who donate money to Trump. So you know what? Everyone needs some idol, I guess. I don't know. That's a
I guess
different
it's
story.
their version of a hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of
That's
us podcasts, some
Sure,
of us
that's good point.
people ever. They're
Good.
gonna screw you.
Excellent point. Hey, listen, we're up against our first break. We'll be right back to talk about the MAGA Clown Show. So we'll be right back on Coffee and Ponduce right after this.
So we have a great fall lineup, and we encourage you to tune in to many of our fabulous shows, like our Say show, and many more things in October and November as well. Thanks for watching, as always, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.
Hey, y'all, thanks for watching, and support local black and brown businesses, including our sponsor, Manolo Bakery. That has some fabulous pastries, food, king cakes, all kinds of specialty cakes, swallows, and much, much more. Some of the best food you eat in Charlotte, North Carolina. Again, Manolo Bakery, right here in East Charlotte. Thanks for watching. Hey, y'all, thanks for watching our spring shows and sticking with us. And we've got a fabulous summer lineup. I hope y'all are excited as I am. And let's enjoy our summers. Hot Girl Summer 2024. See y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Hey, y'all, thanks for watching the Florida shows. They've been wildly successful. Obviously, it's a topic that you guys have enjoyed and wanted to know more of. And we like talking about the dumpster fire. They used to be the state of Florida, and we'll probably talk about it some more this summer. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Hey, y'all, you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and your favorite audio podcast platforms. You can catch your special editions of Coffee and Dulce, as always. And we appreciate y'all listening. And we're going to do more episodes. We're going to do some zany things in 2025. And most of all, we're going to have lots of fun, as always. Thanks for listening. And look for the new shows. Appreciate it.
Welcome back, everyone. So please, as the commercial said, please watch the other shows that we have dropping here in 2025. 2025 is going to be a great year for all of us. We're going to make it. We're going to make it a great year, right, Jen? It's going to be a great year.
There's always that conflict because being a member of the LGBT community the last few years in certain ways have not been the greatest of years, and Republican success usually means not necessarily the best results for people like me. And to personally have such a good 2024, to have such a turnaround story, I always am really weird, and it's one of the reasons I've not talked about it on the show this much, is that I do know some of my friends and people that live locally listen to the show. And my biggest fear is especially people in the trans community have a tough time with me. Because I have been successful in many aspects of my life, the podcasting, the political work, the things where I've gotten notoriety. It sometimes disconnects you with your community a little bit. And I know in 22 and 23, but even in 24, there's a lot of people that come into my life from the trans community but come out just as fast, because a lot of it's just low-key jealousy. A lot of it is when you do have, and I've had this in other parts of my life where I've had great success and everybody around me kind of gets uncomfortable with me because I've had great success. And it's human nature. When you have people usually do one of two things, which is either you congratulate them and you're happy for them, or you go, well, why am I not getting married? Why is Jenny special, or why is she exceptional? And I go, my first answer is I'm not special. That anybody could do what I'm doing. It's just most people choose not to. Most people that choose not to get politically involved. Most people would rather sit home and play video games on the couch. And there's not anything wrong with that. But then they begrudge me or you when we get out front or we get asked to speak. Well, why do they get to speak? Because we did the work.
Well, I hope everyone's success in 2025. It's going to be. We're all going to have to really pull together, because this is going to be kind of we're going to turn this lemon year into lemonade. How's that?
Well, I also think, too, that we just saw a nice preview of how Republicans, when they're in power, they've had the House for the last few years.
Sure.
They've done nothing with it.
They've been able to do anything. Yeah, exactly.
Like, they've set records for futility.
Sure.
So we've seen a preview of when they could wield some power, and they can't even struggle to elect a speaker.
And you talked about this on your show, Jenny. I know I don't want to go too far for topic because that's actually what we do. So exactly, but you're exactly right, Jenny. There is a lot of angst, and for me, there's a lot of angst, and I'm sure people who are watching, listening to us, I've heard people saying, "Oh, they really dread the next 4 years. It's going to be hard and so forth." Here's the good side. We know, like you say this a lot on your show, and you've examined this. We saw what Trump could not do in his first term in office. He's held the job before, couldn't do the job, which is why you and I did not want to rehire him because we fired him. We're putting him back in the job. He doesn't have the ability to work a full day. He's going to sleep until 10, or he's going to tweet until 1 in the morning. Yeah, he's going to...
Let's be realistic.
Sure.
This guy's been a career con artist that's never worked a day in his life.
Yeah.
He spent most of his time philandering, chasing little girls, buying beauty pageants, bankrupting companies, and playing golf. And just living his life. He's lived a very selfish and self-centered, self-promoting life. It's one of the reasons he's not successful in business is he doesn't do what it takes to be successful in business. He comes with scams. He's found a way to find people that will invest into his sleazy golf motels. But as a business person, he's not a successful person at all. He's failed every business he's ever tried. The good thing about politics is you don't have to be successful in politics to win office.
Sure.
You don't have to be good at your job to be rewarded for a promotion or continue to work. Like, luckily, they don't have to do a truth in lending performance. Politicians had to do that. There'd be a lot of people that couldn't qualify to even apply for the job. They'd be like, "Oh no, your track record's so low, and you failed so bad in the last term. You can't even apply to run for office. Your failure rate is so low, and you're so incompetent. And you, as a congressperson, haven't written one bill into law in 4 years. Out of 1,200 days, you have refused to do your job."
So what do you think? Hey, question. I don't want to sidetrack you here, but and I know you and I have talked about this, and I know you've been really busy with your new venture and your job, and congratulations, by the way. Anyone who knows Jenny, she's doing some wonderful things. So the day before Christmas, Nikki Haley Jr. tweeted, I for some bizarre reason. My understanding is Laura Loomer, the crazy right-wing troll person, tweeted something against one of the people that has been nominated by Trump. She tweeted how he's Indian. He's from India. He's Indian American. He's an American, but he's Indian ethnicity. And she tweeted that we don't need any of these because she's very racist. We don't need any of these people. He believes in this and so forth. And apparently Nikki Haley Jr. came to his defense and posted something, but he decided to post this long diatribe about how Americans are lazy and we're in a society that honors prom queens and jocks over nerds and this. And then Musk decided to come down and say, yes, we need H-1B visas, all like around Christmas. Laura Loomer posted, they're anti-American, they're not real MAGA. Musk, like a teenage girl, posted, don't listen to her. She's just trying to get clicks. She's a troller, which pissed Laura Loomer off. She went against him. It went on for a week. Steve Bannon got involved, saying, hey, this is this. What do you think of all that drama?
So, long story short, honestly, Musk and Nikki Haley Jr. are foreigners.
Yes, they are. South African.
Or they, with the Swami or whatever his name is, Vivek. Sounds like a razor blade or something. We got the new Vivek with Action Track.
Okay.
And and then we have, we have, I guess Vivek technically was born in this country, but
Yeah. His parents are immigrants.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's first generation American, and
That's right.
Leon was born in South Africa and raised in South Africa, and benefited from apartheid and blood.
Sure. And an H-1B visa. That's how he got here.
Yeah, he actually got here undocumented too.
And he overstayed it. That's right.
He violated part of his agreement to go back to his country.
So what do you think of that drama? We only got a couple of seconds before we go to our last break. So,
and then you throw in Steve Bannon that probably needs some plastic surgeries, including liposuction. And you got Laura Loomer that is probably an expert on what plastic surgeries not to get.
Exactly.
She talks with 2 inner tubes on her face.
Yeah.
You really got to force them there. That would be definitely an anti-porn foursome. You couldn't see it to see those 4 naked together. But what a creep show of 4 advisors.
It's
the combined are probably 4 of the biggest idiots in America as we speak. And you realize that you got a moron that took a $50 million social company and basically is bankrupted and shit canned everything that made Twitter successful. He's done away with because his own personal fees. You got Nikki Haley Jr. defending other people of his same ethnicity, going, "Oh, really? I do work with a bunch of racists." I'm like,
"Yeah."
I said, "Your buddy Elion is pro apartheid, and where the primary African American employees in the Tesla plant work is called the plantation, like the cotton plantation."
Sure. Yeah.
He's been sued over that. And then let's go to Lauren Loomer and Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon in the wall scam, and Laura Loomer. There's some people that are crazy and some people look crazy.
Looney Loomer. But this is I have to admit, Jenny, it was great to see. I know they've quieted down a little bit because the holidays are over. It was great to see this civil war going on. It was great to see this argument. But
they always do.
But Lauren Loomer she's a racist, she's a bigot, and she's buffoonery. But I understand some of the attraction of people who have joined that movement, so to speak, because the H-1B visas are very anti-American type of visas. 70% of the visas go to people, engineers who are from Asia and India, and I think there's 600 and something thousand people here on an H-1B visa, and a company does not have to prove that they can't hire an American. They just have to say it's difficult, and it's better for them to hire a cheaper H-1B visa because they are. And Steve Bannon did have a point. These are like slave labor because they can't leave when they're here.
Indentured servitude.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, Bernie Sanders does have a point that it does have to be completely. They are going to have to change it where they say before you can hire someone on an H-1B visa from a foreign country, you have to prove that you've interviewed at least 3 or 4 Americans for the job.
But they can do that and still. I mean,
yes.
Here's my thing.
Sure.
Through no proof.
Sure.
They're poo-pooing these HB1.
Sure. Yeah.
Without any statistics, and once again, conservatives making statistics on whether it's anti-American, pro-American, or whatever. It's existed for 30 plus years. It's been around a long time.
Yep.
It's nothing new, and it was created by Republicans.
Yeah, exactly. To hire.
Here's where Democrats are screwing up. We already know what Republicans. The moment Republicans open their mouth, we already know they're messing up. So, analyzing the Republicans all I got to say is Lauren Loomer, Steve Bannon, Elion Musk, Nikki Haley Jr. Do you really need to say anything else?
Sure.
It's a moronic foursome. The 4 headless, brainless horsemen of the apocalypse coming right there. Rocket doctors they ain't. Just like my friend Nick Rex Tellerser said, fucking morons.
Yeah.
Not regular morons, but fucking morons. Everyone.
Okay. All right. Hey, listen.
The most important point,
yeah, finish your thought real quickly because we got to go to the last break here.
Yep. Is you created a system with the HB1 visas under George Herbert Walker Bush.
Sure.
And you enforced the law and even spiffed it up to where we would get a lot of people, especially from Asia, from a talented
Sure. Yeah.
There are engineers and doctors and people like that. That was the whole intention.
Sure.
Was to get educated professionals over here because we weren't graduating enough doctors and engineers.
Yeah.
This is a recruiting tool that still continues today because we just don't have enough American kids going into specific scientific and medical fields.
Yeah.
If you want to encourage Americans to go into those fields, do something kooky, like a lot of these countries where they get their degrees from.
Sure.
Is their college is free.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, exactly. So there's not a lot of debt.
The reason why there's not enough Americans going into these really expensive American colleges,
there's a lot of debt,
especially the more elite ones, is they all end up with a six-figure debt, and they don't know if they want to take on a six-figure debt.
Here's another thing I thought of, because Elon Musk was talking about how he can't handle, he doesn't have enough engineers in the companies he's worked with. Well, here's a thought. If you have 5 really good engineers working at Tesla, why don't you get 10 American graduates to intern with them for a year to teach them how to up their game? And so let's go. You know what I mean? I mean, there are people who are willing to learn from people who, like in the medical profession, they have residencies. There are Americans who are willing to learn who may not have an MIT degree, may have graduated from, let's say, University of Tulsa. Yeah. And they can intern with these really high level professionals until they get to that point. Then you wouldn't have to hire the H-1B visa people.
Well, and also too, there's a lot of Americans choosing not to go to college.
Yeah. That exactly. That's a good point.
It was a foregone conclusion in the 50s and 60s with the baby boomers. It was just what you did. You went to college. That's how you'd be successful.
Sure.
College was not expensive.
Yeah.
You could work a part-time job and you could afford college. Everybody could afford college.
Yeah.
And you could work a part-time job and support yourself, be able to go to school, graduate in 4 or 5 years, and you got a college degree.
Sure.
And with a minimal amount of grants, and the student loans were almost unheard of until the last 20 years. Yeah. I mean, when I would have gone, college was so cheap that I could work a part-time job and pay for it out of pocket. It was nothing. Texas tuition for Texas residents.
Sure. Okay, hey Jen, we're going over a little bit. I'm going to cut you off here because we've got to take our last break. If you like what you hear from Jenny, she does have a show that comes on 30 minutes after this every Wednesday. It's called Two Queers in a Truck. We did tape her show this morning. Listen to her show every Wednesday. This last commercial is talking about her show and the other shows that are dropping in 2025 from Cannis Media. We'll be right back on Coffee and Pan Dulce right after this.
Hey, thanks for listening to us as always on Coffee and Pan Dulce. And just to let you know, we're on all the audio podcast platforms. So working out or whatever, you can just listen to us. Or if you want to see our bright, shiny faces, we're on YouTube and Facebook. You can even be fans and you can comment on our shows on the Facebook platform and drown out people who don't actually listen to the show but like to like us. But anyway, we appreciate y'all and very much, and keep on listening so that Christian and I are just not sitting here talking to ourselves. Have a great year.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching our Coffee and Pan Dulce show every week. Don't forget you can watch us visually on our video podcast platforms on Facebook and YouTube, but you can also listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platforms like Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all of the other ones that your favorite, whatever your favorite is. Once again, thank you for watching us on Coffee and Pan Dulce. We'll dance out.
Hey, y'all. Thanks, as always, for listening to Coffee and Pan Dulce. And guess what? As part of our Cannis Media family of shows, we have a sister show that's been running alongside the Coffee Show for 6 years, 6 seasons. And it's Two Queers in a Truck. And in fact, we've been on air, as it says right behind Christian, as we record this, in case you're watching the video version of this. It's exciting. It's a little different. It comes more from obviously the queer perspective because it's two queers in a truck. And we invite you to listen to it. You don't have to be queer to listen. And I promise it most likely will not give you gabies. I can't 100% verify that, but it's just a medical rumor started by me, actually. But anyway, come out and check us out on our sister show, Two Queers in a Truck, and all the exciting 2025 news shows on the Cannis Media family. As always, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Up next is Two Queers in a Truck with Jenny and Christian. And hope you guys tune in. We'll see you in about 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you. Bye.
Welcome back, everyone. Don't forget to join those shows in 2025. So you got a whole bunch of shows you can choose from while you're on the treadmill or whatever you're doing. Okay. Next is the Pendejo Chronicles.
And this is the Pendejo Chronicles.
Forgot what that was. All right, the Pendejo of the week is Elon Musk. Elon Musk is going to I don't know. He's kind of gone off the cliff with all of his postings. He actually posted or tweeted whatever he does. One of the guys, there was a student in Denmark who responded to one of Elon Musk's crazy posts. That did an analysis and said 60% of what Elon Musk posts is either fake or it's been proven after it's fact checked it's not real. So Elon Musk, 60% of what he retweets and stuff tends to be just like baloney. Yes. Yeah. And the guy did the analysis and posted that. And Elon Musk, this college student from Denmark, responded to him and said, "You're a retard," and this. He got very upset that he had corrected him on whatever. This is a grown-ass guy who Trump has picked to run this. This guy he's not a serious, to use Vice President Harris's words, these people are not serious people who are going to be working for it. It's going to be a crazy show. Pardon my French.
But the same people that love the WWE probably
sure. That's exactly right. Yeah. Good point.
Do we expect this reality show format that Trump brings to be different?
Yeah.
Is that of course he's going to pick people that are only going to do things that are going to benefit themselves. I don't really understand why regular blue-collar MAGA people who live in rural areas, vote for people like this. Because what Trump represents is New York City and big life and casinos.
Exactly.
Highfalutin, womanizing, Trump's lifestyle and life is nothing like with his main. I'm talking about his main sport. I'm not talking about the people that put in power like Musk.
Yeah.
Musk lives just like Trump does.
Sure.
Philandering, doing whatever the hell he wants because he's one of the wealthiest human beings on the planet. And so these people, they're always going to fail because they're all like this.
Sure.
Whether it's Hitler, whether it's Trump, whether whoever it is, they got to the place because they realized there's a lot of stupid people out there.
Yeah.
That will hear the saber rattling of, we're going to go get them. We're going to go make the foreigners pay for your misery.
Yeah.
Not really finishing the sentence or the thought is, but the decisions I'm going to make with my company and my sphere of influence is actually going to make your life made worse. Elon Musk has more to do with American tragedy than Trump does.
Yeah.
Elon Musk hurts the American labor market more than Trump ever did. Trump actually hurt small businesses more than Elon Musk does. Elon Musk, for the most part, pays his bills.
Yeah.
But Elon Musk has purposely made sure wages are lower in America because of different things he's done with his companies.
Yeah.
He's gone out of his way to pay people less and justify it. And recruiting in foreign markets has been something Vivek, Nikki Haley Jr., and Apartheid Pride have done for decades. That's why they're wealthy.
Yep.
It's paying half price or more on engineers and professionals.
All right. We've run out of time. I want to thank you everyone for joining us. Jenny, you have anything to share where you're going to be after this post? This is going to the weekend after this is going to be Martin Luther King weekend, and then unfortunately there'll be the inauguration of.
We're going to on the 20th. We're going to have a cultural trivia specialist that's coming in. Her name is Shakira, and we're doing a cultural trivia night that's going to be honoring Dr. King.
Oh, wow.
And it's both going to be fun, it's going to be funny, but also informative. She's done it in other places in Charlotte, and I welcome this with open arms, as our company, Queen City Grounds, has always been based on the fact of diversity and inclusion, and not naughty words in our parts of the world. And diversity and inclusion is what's made America the great melting pot. And one of the things we do that is by honoring people that are our forefathers, including the great works of Dr. King. And so it'll be a fun night. Come out and get some drink, get some food, get some libations.
Yeah. Hey, so sorry to interrupt you. So those who don't live in Charlotte, if you live in Charlotte or if you live in the Charlotte region, tell us about your new place. What's the name of it?
Queen City Grounds. We're in the 4th Ward of Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's in the uptown, or what most people would call it downtown, with tons of skyscrapers, including this skyscraper that literally sits on top of our restaurant and bar and coffee shop. We are literally on the ground floor, what they call the lobby of a high-rise building. We're on the walk-in level, and it's a beautiful 2-story restaurant and menu, and we're going to do live events. We've already done a live events. We have food, we have drinks, we have alcoholic beverages.
Great coffee, by the way.
We manufacture our own beans.
I'm actually drinking some. So just to let you know,
we have a Mount Flyer brand of bag coffee that you can buy ground or unground. We roast our own beans there, so we buy the green beans wholesale. We actually cook them in basically a bean oven, and it's kind of like a grill and an oven. Yeah. It's a very fascinating, expensive piece of machinery, and it's one of the many toys that we have there. But yeah, if y'all want to come on down and see us, and if you live in the greater Charlotte area, definitely come down and see us for that trivia night. It's one of the many cool nights we're going to do. We have a folk indie singer from Bozeman, Montana that's going to be coming in later in the month. I'll talk about more. We've got a lot of really interesting and eclectic entertainment opportunities coming up in January and February.
Perfect.
Hold on to your hats. It's going to be
excellent,
fun.
excellent. And I will be somewhere. So and that's it. All right. Well, listen, thank everyone for joining us. We'll see you next week. I just want to remind you that next week we do have a wonderful show. It's called America's Felon President. By the time you see us next week, he will be officially president, and it'll be a very interesting 2025 and the next 4 years. It's going to be interesting. All right. Thank y'all. We'll see you next week. We'll dance out.
Bye, y'all. Hey, y'all. Thanks for listening to Coffee and Pen Dulce on your favorite audio podcast platform. Or if you still watch us on Facebook or YouTube, thank you. Without y'all, we'd be talking to ourselves. That's our longest running joke. And it's still not gotten any funnier in 2025. And nothing's better than a little bit of dead air right before you deliver a joke. But anyway, we appreciate y'all listening as always, and we will see you next week with some more Coffee and Pen Dulce and Cannis media shows coming up. Look forward to our new shows as well as our old standbys. Thanks as always. See y'all next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Next up, thanks for watching Coffee and Pen Dulce. Next up is Two Queers and a Truck. Stay tuned.
Coffee and pan dulce. How's that? Coffee and pan dulce.
Sounds
You
great.
sounded like a telenova. I mean,
I'm trying to. All I have to say is go. Yes.
as a
okay.
non-Spanish speaker.
Good job, Jen. Okay, we're gonna talk about what happened. We know when Trump and Nikki Haley Jr. On Christmas Eve did those tweets, and they had the arguments with Steve Bannon all for the whole week, and then it's quiet down a little bit. But now Steve Bannon is going after him and saying, stay in your lane, and Musk is saying, I'll tear your face off, or eat your face, or stupid. It's crazy nerd fighting
Crazy
in the
talk.
playground. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Hey everyone, I'm Christian Cano. I'm glad you're joining us this week. I'm gonna have to do that again. Okay, Jen, we only have a couple of minutes left. We're gonna talk Pendejo of the week, and then we'll close.
Okay.
You ready? Here we go. Welcome back, everyone. Don't forget to join those shows in 2025. So you got a whole bunch of shows you can choose from while you're on the treadmill or whatever you're doing. Okay. Next is the Pendejo Chronicles.
Coffee and pan dulce. How's that? Coffee and pan dulce.